Intro video. Hello, welcome to BookStara Readalongs, where we're currently reading Good Girls Guide to Murder's second book, Good Girl, Bad Blood.
Oh, I don't have my copy. I lent it to Mom.
My mom's reading this one actually, so.
Is she?
Yeah. So we're
I gotta
here.
return mine to the library.
Oh. Yeah. We're here. Are we ready? It's been a while since since all of us have read this.
Yeah. Middle of last month. For me.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that this is working on my channel. I had to do some changes to my YouTube, and it wasn't showing up on my channel when when you set up StreamYard and it shows that you have a live upcoming.
You're there.
Okay, good. Just want to make sure. Okay, so so initial thoughts. What do you think? Rating and initial thoughts.
Rating for me, like I gave the first one 5 stars. I gave this one 5 stars. I actually think I enjoyed this one more than I did the first book.
That's what you said, yeah. Can't give higher than a 5-star. But
yeah.
Let me see.
I gave Good Girls 4-star, and I've given this a 4.5. But now I'm like, why did I do that? I don't know. They feel very samey. It could be because I literally read this in a day. So the brain did not do the separation all that well. But I think I enjoyed it more, which is why I gave it a 4.5. But I'm like, it's still not what I consider a 4.5. So now I'm like, shit.
You feel like you should have rated it lower?
Just a 4, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Would that have brought your rating for Good Girls Guide to Murder down?
I don't feel like it was a 3.5. If we went into it, this would probably be like a 4.25, and Good Girls would be like a 3.75 4-star. So that's why it's so close. And I know I put it as a 4.5 to differentiate it, but I'm also looking at the other 4.5 books, and I'm like,
Didn't feel like it matched those other 4.5s. Yeah.
Because I'm having a fun time with it.
Yeah.
It's not but it's not my new favorite series that I know a lot of other people are having that experience with, which is awesome. I'm just like, yeah, it's good. I read it. I'm good. Let's move on, sort of thing. So, yeah, that's where we're currently at.
I think I gave it 5 stars. I think I was so surprised that I liked this one so much more than the last one, and that I had so much fun. I couldn't put this one down. And I read this one very quickly, whereas it took me a lot longer to read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. And we didn't have some of the same tropes, so that was good.
Yeah.
Brenna is here. Wonderful to see you, Brenna. And she said, I liked this book more than the first one as well. Stacy is here. I remember seeing, I really should have looked at the Discord before I started this, but
Stacy finished.
I've got it pulled up. I'm glad I'm looking at my comments again, because I'm like, it's reminding me, it is working to refresh my brain, so that's good.
I hit a point of sufferathon that I was just like, I have to read all of the things, cannot pause to think.
Yeah, you had a lot going on.
I think I did all right.
No, you did. I'm just saying that was a lot, considering the readathon itself. That's the biggest time suck readathon ever because of the amount of Discord participation. It's a lot. I mean, it was not a bad thing. It's just I think my whole month was spent on my phone.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Man, they don't keep it for longer, do they?
What?
Because I think it's only a week of screen time. You can't go.
Oh wow. Okay. Oh my gosh. I just realized what what happened. Yeah, no.
What happened?
The end completely blew me away. Yeah. I was guessing like the whole time and just shooting in the dark, and I'm like, I need to stop this because I obviously don't have it figured out at all.
It was really fun watching your thinking and as
Yeah.
you were going through, and I had already finished. I was just having so much fun watching. Like, oh, okay,
Watching me
okay.
try to figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really fun. Hey Tara, how you doing?
Hello.
Let's see. Yeah, I don't remember how it ended. I don't remember anything anymore. It's been not a bad couple of weeks with school, but it's been exhausting. And this past week, I am subbing for the special ed teacher for Promise K in kindergarten. So I'm working with littles, and I'm basically I'm overseeing that program. I'm relieving paras and working one-on-one with kids for sure, but I'm kind of like trying to put my hands everywhere and try to help out everywhere. And it's just, it's very different because I've subbed for the sped teacher in the upper grades a lot, never subbed for the littles, and it's just, it's a big
my.
difference.
Oh my.
And so it's just been one of those weeks where everything has really actually gone smoother than I thought it was going to, but it's just exhausting. And I'm a quick runner, just so you know. I've realized that I'm still pretty quick.
Oh dang, good.
Faster than a 4-year-old.
Oh, they're about as needy as the stuff that Earth on Discord was.
That's why towards the end I was like, I don't think I could do this anymore. I'm dealing with too many kids anyways. So, yeah, anyways, let's talk about the book. What can we remember about it?
Did you guys merge and read it, like listen into the audiobook while reading along, or did you just physically read or just audiobook it?
Just physically read it.
Yeah, I just physically read it also.
Oh! The podcast elements to it were done so well in the audiobook.
Oh
Really?
my gosh, I bet.
Yeah, like it
bad.
had like the whole like interview. It was just them doing it. It was so well done. And there's like, jingle plays. They had an actual jingle in it. And then like where she was interviewing, oh God, give me a sec. I'll get there in a second. Connor's mum. And there was a bit where in the book it was written in like bold because she was up close to the microphone, and she's like, "You can sit a little bit away from the microphone." Well, in it she was like, "Hi, you can sit a little bit." Oh, okay. Can we try that again, please? Like it was done so well.
Let's see. I really do. The audiobooks, Brian says the audiobooks are great. So I am like, especially since I really liked this one, I think I'm definitely going to go back and listen to the audiobook at some point, just because I think it'll be a fun one to listen to for that reason. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. Let's see. Jean says, I had to go to the community page to actually get to the video. Yeah, see, I was wondering about that because I had some issues with my channel and I had to switch some things up. And when I was trying to set up StreamYard to my YouTube, I was having a lot of issues, and I got it working, but yeah, I couldn't find any of my stuff, so I don't know what's going on. It's something I'll have to look into, but thanks for pointing that out, Jean, because I got to do some more research as to what's going on.
Actually, checking in my subscription feed, it's not coming up now.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know what's going on. I couldn't find it anywhere unless I actually went to StreamYard and went to view on YouTube. Then I could find it on YouTube. So really, only people who have the actual link through my Instagram, my community page, or the Discord are going to be able to see this. Because for some reason, I'm like wondering, does that mean it's not going to save on my YouTube live streams?
I don't.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but I did have some issues with StreamYard. That's why I couldn't do the sprints last time. Issues. YouTube and I have not been getting along so great lately. But it's my fault for trying to change things up. But maybe my wonderful page will help me figure that eventually, why that is. Let's see. One of my favorite audiobooks ever. Really? Okay.
That's awesome.
That's really exciting. I definitely will need to read that one then. I mean, like, listen to the audiobooks is what I mean. Hi, Jean. I accidentally read this because a hold came up from the library. I wasn't intentionally reading this for book club, but I finished it on Friday, which I thought was perfect timing. What's up, Paige? That face.
It's created a second channel. It's not connected to your A-Star Reads 4214. It's connected to A-Star Reads as a whole separate thing. It still got you as a person, but
because
it's
I
like
did have to
A-Star
create
Reads.
a separate channel.
What?
So I deleted
Why?
the one that was connected to my old email. I did delete that one completely.
But it's created a whole new A-Star Reads channel for you that this live is currently on.
Well, that's fun.
Because I just tagged it in my post and then I've clicked on it and it's taken to this whole other thing. I'm sure we'll be able to fix it. This channel was created September 2020, 22nd of September 2024. Because it's not your usual handle.
I had to change I changed it to my A-Star Reads email address because I didn't want my professional email address, my regular email address, to have A-Star Reads anymore, but I couldn't change that without changing the names of the channel. So I completely changed the channel and deleted it from my professional email address. And so Brenna says it's in her subscription feed. And when I go to StreamYard and look at it on YouTube, and then I look at where it is, it says A-Star Reads, and it goes to my studio, but then I can't find it anywhere in my studio. It's weird.
Because, yeah, I don't have it connected to that.
But my handle would have changed.
Yeah, your handle has...
But everything got moved over. And that's why StreamYard wasn't working for me before, and I had to reset up StreamYard, and it took the 24 hours that it takes for StreamYard. You know, originally it takes 24 hours. It says, no, wait, no, it wasn't. It was on my recommended videos page when I logged in. Interesting.
I know. I'm thinking, like, are people going to have to, like, resubscribe to this new
You shouldn't have to.
channel?
No, it had all my subscribers. Like, if it didn't, it would be 0 subscribers. It had all my subscribers still.
Okay.
It's only got 1 subscriber.
So then somehow I've connected to the wrong somehow I've connected.
Yeah.
Because it makes you create a brand and a test account, and then I created my A-Star Reads account, and it might be connected to the test brand account. Or it's connected to my old A-Star Read. Maybe it's connected to my old professional email address.
Under...
Like the actual, like, StreamYard is, you think?
Yeah, but that was not called A-Star Reads anymore. I changed that back to my name.
Yeah. It won't. We can FaceTime after if you want, and we can...
Yeah. Yeah, but Stacey, if you look at your other subscriptions, you'll probably see my channel. It's just
like your
when I was trying to link StreamYard and this, I think I linked the wrong thing.
Yeah, well, that explains what that was.
I was worried about that.
That's all right. It should be fixable, though. Because mine's disconnected before, but I've never had to change my email address, so that I'm like,
Yeah. And I was able to
make it happen.
Everything. And look like it says. Yeah, that particular channel nobody should be subscribed to because I moved all my subscribers to my new channel, which is the same channel, just a new email address that everything goes to. It's the A-Star Reads email. Fun.
Right. It's okay.
We're working with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just because I didn't want, like, with my resume going out for jobs and stuff, I didn't want people to be like, who's A-Star Reads? Because every time you pull up that email, it'll show who, like you send an email to that person, it'll show A-Star Reads. Yeah. It won't show Amy Starzak. So I was like, I don't want that. And so I changed it and everything was fine until I started trying to put StreamYard. And then I was having a lot of issues. So it's the StreamYard connection. I don't think any of my other videos are going to go to that channel, though. Thanks, Jean. Thanks for the solidarity. So anyways, okay, so that's interesting.
Okay. You might need to download this live after and re-upload it as a video to your A-Star Reads channel.
I think I can do that.
If you want. Yeah.
That's annoying.
But we'll fix it. We'll make it work.
I was hoping maybe it would just show up when we started doing the live. Like, oh, okay, well, it's not showing up right now. I don't know why, because I'm trying to get this connection going. And then when we start the live, it'll show up. But no. Oh, well.
And because I followed the link that you did, which is still connected to A-Star.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's okay.
Yeah. Okay, well, we're still here and we're still going to talk about the book. And I'll figure out how to figure everything. Maybe Paige will help me figure out how to figure everything out for this.
Yeah.
Okay, so the audiobook was fantastic. Seems like everybody loved the audiobook. So now I'm really wanting to go back and not right now, but if next time I read this book, I'll definitely listen to it as an audiobook.
It's good to immersion read it because there are also visuals that they don't go into. They just say the tagline. The tagline. But yeah.
Okay. Then you know
the podcast element of it. Amazing.
That is awesome. Okay. So in the beginning of this, we're with Pip, and she has definitely changed her opinion on how she's going to handle everything going forward.
Oh, yeah. She's like, I'm done. I'm out. I'm not putting my life at risk, my family, my pet. She's still like torn up over her dog, rightly so.
I'm still torn up over the dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. And then Connor comes.
Yeah. It was interesting seeing her from this perspective, because in the previous book she was just so like nothing stopped her. We questioned the morality of everything, like what she was doing and all the choices she was making, and how could you possibly move forward with all the things she's moving forward, and nobody's stopping her. Her teachers aren't stopping her, and yet in this one, it's just an interesting look at her when she completely says, nope, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do these things. I'm going to stay away from that. And then we have this huge shift. I'm just talking about Pip in general. We have this huge shift to where she feels like she has to do it, and she has no. But then, she ultimately says, and I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but she's ultimately saying, no, this is who I am. I'm this bad girl who wants to do bad things, and I'm going to do bad things. And it's a great thing because at least I'm being me.
Yeah, it was a total self-discovery kind of journey, really.
It was an interesting message.
We have a morally gray character.
Yes. Genuinely morally gray at this point, because when she's when she was defacing the house and stuff, I was like,
oh my gosh.
And we're supposed to be rooting for her right now?
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, no. No.
But that was her breakthrough. I'm me again.
She can be really unhinged at times.
I think that's where I struggle with her, because I'm like, I completely understand wanting to do this and wanting to help. But every action she makes that's bad, it's just stupid. It's like, okay, you want to do something good for the world and, let them know about Max. Start a fucking petition. Write to the council. Don't dox him online. That's going to have legal repercussions. take it to the police and hold it forth. You can continue. It takes time and it takes effort.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes.
Breaking someone's house and painting on
like,
it
right now. Mm-hmm.
What's it going to do in the long term aside from make her look like a fucking fool?
It was, yeah. I didn't understand that direction that Holly Jackson wanted to go in. I mean, as much as I liked this book, I did really love this book, but it was still like, this is the message we're trying to champion. Like, this is what we're trying to stand behind. Yes, she's herself. She's defacing things, and she's accepting that who she genuinely is as a person is a rule breaker, and that is such a great thing. At least she's being herself. Fantastic.
I think you and I had a very similar, just like, moment to that, because that took me out of the story so much.
I am guilty of really not overthinking these things. Like,
that's good. We appreciate that. We love it.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing, because I spent a lot of time thinking about that kind of stuff. Yeah, it was a little shocking. I was like, really, Holly Jackson, this is you're a anarchist, aren't you? You really want to, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but just saying that like the goal of Pip's arc through this was to be able to be comfortable with the bad girl that she actually is. I thought that was a very interesting, and for us to be like, we're so proud of you, Pip, you're being bad. You're really being really bad. I'm so glad. At least you're yourself. You're yourself. That's great. That was funny.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely, like, I think she kind of does what she thinks needs to get done, and I think she, like, feels really failed by, the people that are supposed to be handling these things, and it just, like, adds fuel to her fire. She's like, if you're not going to do it and you're not going to do it the right way, I'm going to do it my way no matter what that looks like, and I'm going to ultimately get get the results, get the bad guy.
Yeah she is, and obviously the cops aren't doing nearly, and okay, we'll come. Let's just say, like, really fast. Still can't believe they killed the dog. Yeah, no, that was not a good moment. I loved her, and I think the girl's name is Nat. Yeah, that was the other girl.
I appreciated that moment.
I liked that moment a lot. She does seem to be immature, 16 years old. Oh yeah, for sure. She'd be an immature 16-year-old at times. Oh, for sure. She, the way she handles her emotions seems, but I guess she's 6. She's a child still. She's a teenager.
See, I thought I thought she's actually like 18 now.
Oh, is she?
Yeah. I mean, she may seem more like a 16-year-old, but like,
she's like 18.
I thought she was doing, I thought she was doing like her capstone project and like,
you're right,
wrapping things up for her senior year. And
yeah, no, you're right. This was her final year. So she's a little older than she seemed. I mean, because, she always has seemed more mature than everybody else, because she's very, she's always got plans for everything and all this, but
she's mature.
Huh?
She thinks she's mature.
That's what I mean. Like, she behaves in a way where she thinks she's more mature, but she certainly makes emotional choices that feel very immature.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, speaking of which, the police wouldn't look at this missing person case within the first 24 hours because he was an adult. But then 72 hours passes by, and how come the cops aren't like anymore? I think they're like, oh, it's all right, Pip's on the case. It's all right, Pip's taking care of it.
Yeah, we'll just let her do a thing. That's one less case we have to worry about.
Yeah, it was all like because he had, a history of, kind of disappearing previously and just not letting anybody know where he was, and so.
But also, I thought he'd only done that like once or twice, which,
yeah,
I don't like. if someone did that, I can't get a hold of my sister for a couple of weeks. Like, I would definitely go, well, this is still abnormal. It's only the third time that they've done that. But they're like, nah, he's got a history. I'm like,
yeah, it was, yeah, that part was really crap.
Yeah.
When the mom and the brother are like, hey, this is not like those other times, you know?
And they're like, oh, our hands are tied. And I'm like, I'm going to tie your hands up while I shove your cactus up your ass.
I just thought it was really irresponsible. And the way they were talking about everything just seemed so unprofessional. They were very unprofessional. And is it because it's just a small town vibe, or because they've dealt with Pip before and they go, oh, it's Pip. How annoying. She just wants to, you know, but the parents put in the request. Like, it's one thing if it's just Pip saying all these things, but the family is asking you for help. Like, that's still a genuine, like, request from the family.
Everybody was so convinced that she had, like, fabricated this for her podcast, and like
everybody ask the family. Why would the family corroborate with that kind of thing?
Oh, she's gonna pay them out.
Because she's so rich.
Yeah.
Teenager. Oh, she makes a lot of. They probably think she makes a ton of money with her podcast.
They really don't do YouTube.
See, I can't believe the Daybreak guy got away with it. I think he'll be. Oh yeah. What was his name?
Max Hastings.
Ugh. That scene was so upsetting. The scene where he gets away with it, and it was.
When he's out like celebrating at the Ritz or whatever.
Yeah, I wanted to punch him in the face.
Yeah.
Ick.
Or paint rapist on his house.
Right.
Exactly. I just kept thinking to myself, like, doesn't she realize that's going to come back to bite her? Because she didn't just paint on his house. She smashed in all his windows.
Yeah.
Like, that is severe. That's extreme property damage. Like,
I was like, the whole time I'm thinking, like, ring cam.
Yes.
Doorbell cam.
Sidewalk
like,
cameras.
This is going to be a fancy, like, bit of property. Like, surely they have some surveillance something.
And considering what the effort they went through to get out of this, they're going to go through a whole bunch of efforts to get her in trouble. You know they're going to. Oh, he's got to be going down in the next book, right? He has to. We can't let Max survive this. I mean, not like that not that I want. Just, unscathed is what I mean. From the beginning in the first audiobook, I thought it was set in England, but the descriptions of the cities in this book, I'm like, they're in America.
Depends on which edition.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Little Kilton is the UK version for where it's set.
And in our book, I think it's like, is it Connecticut or
something
like that? Oh, look at that. Oh, yeah, I don't have mine. Whoopsie.
Oh, Fairview.
Yeah. Fairview, Connecticut, I think.
Oh, funny. How strange is that?
I thought you guys knew that was a thing.
I didn't know. I know people said that it was different. I just didn't know that it was like actually a different setting.
Oh.
Yeah, because I don't think we actually talked about that in the first one of the place that it was called. Or I referenced Little Kilton and you guys were just like, yeah, cool.
Yeah, Little Kilton.
Because I didn't remember what it was called.
Yeah. Because small town vibes. Like, this definitely, this edition is UK based. You can feel that it is a British small town. So,
that's
and
interesting.
of course they're just like hopeless.
It does feel very American, like small town when I read this one. So that is really interesting that Holly Jackson wrote two versions. One that feels more small town Britain, one that feels more small town US. Huh.
I wonder if I'd enjoy the US version more. Like,
I don't know. Wonder if I would have enjoyed the U.S.
Exactly.
The small town Britain. Probably would have given the first one 5 stars. That's funny. Huh.
Maybe.
Okay, so we started out and Nat's a total jerk, especially at first.
fair enough.
Understandably. Understandably, she can't stand. But I felt like it was to the point where, I don't know. I got really irritated with her. And I know I shouldn't feel that way because she's a victim and she's had some really shitty things happen to her. But at the same time, when we're trying to find a missing person and she's just completely, like, won't even entertain the thought for a second because, about somebody who she supposedly cares about. It was a little frustrating at times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like,
there's just so much
she's
that
hindering it. It's like, that's a dick move. Just put your own prejudice towards Pip behind you for a second to try and help. But like, I'm also very much in the philosophy of just because you're a victim doesn't entitle you to be an asshole.
And
like, and
she was an asshole. Yeah.
I think that her being an asshole made that scene where they connected that much more powerful. Yes. But if you're just using that as a plot to have one particular scene be impactful, whereas you're actually hindering the rest of the investigation. I also can suppose that she would be aware that her partner was sus. And she probably cared about him and not wanting him to be implicated.
Yeah.
So.
But, like, why? After all the bullshit she's been going through. Oh, he was gross.
He was
what
disgusting.
A jerk. But people do have rose-tinted colored eyeglasses sometimes. The people they love. So I understand that. I do understand that. Because he was.
But also, we're talking about a missing person.
I know. And who was one of her really good friends. Like, he was her really good friend. So that was. And then, of course, Connor wasn't usually with Pip when she confronted Nat or she went to talk to Nat, right?
I think it was Ravi. That was with them the first time they went and talked.
That's right. That wouldn't really give much, because she already has a bad taste for the previous. I think I'd enjoyed the UK version more. Yeah, it could be just the vibe would be slightly different. I could totally see that, Tara. In the audio version I was listening to, I thought it was in New Jersey. That would be so strange if Holly Jackson wrote different versions for different,
I'll have to make sure I get the right audiobook. Because I've just gotten lucky. Like, I'm using American libraries. So, but the audiobook have been these covers.
Oh wow.
So it's like I've managed to just somehow not mess up my noggin. That, or I've just zoned out so much that it was fine. Because we know what my retention rate's like.
What are you talking about?
What were we talking about?
Yeah. So then what happens?
Child Brunswick. I know I'm jumping ahead, but.
Oh.
What the fuck? What the fuck? Ash just went, what the fuck? In the background.
Charlie. We have lots of things to talk about.
Yes, we do. Wait, which one's Charlie?
Charlie was the neighbor.
That's right.
That
the
moved
neighbor.
Into.
That's right. That was acting sort of like almost like as a sounding board / I'm your buddy, old pal.
Oh yeah, he was like so inspiring at one point. Like she was just like about to give up, and he just like said the thing, and like all of a sudden she was like, "I can do this," and like,
I can be a kid.
Yeah, I really loved that because you were writing in the Discord saying like, "Oh, I'm just really loving how Charlie's just coming through for her when nobody else is really understanding where she is."
I know,
and I'm like,
I know. I was like, good or bad. He said what Pip needed to hear. Those are my words.
It's true. Charlie to save the day in the end.
Oh.
Oh, Charlie. Yeah, ew. And the thing about it is everything he was saying when he was saying it to her was so hypocritical. I'm like, don't you see that exactly the things that you're saying and doing are the exact same things you're upset. What was it about? Because he manipulated her to get to
Stanley.
Stanley, and he made her do things. He was testing her, making her do little things to see how much she would do to get her to try to kill Stanley. I'm like, that's what his father did to him.
I thought he was doing that with Jamie.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant. With Jamie.
Yeah.
Sorry, no, I'm mixing up with people.
Correct, like hypocritical. You were grooming a person for murder.
Oh, that's a really good point.
My brain was like,
that is exactly what Stanley did. But Stanley deserves to die, and you don't.
100%. And Stanley was a child. He groomed Jamie, who was like an adult. Yeah.
And that whole situation just makes me so fucking uncomfortable. Like, I appreciate that these books just happen to hit on the notes that I can't stand, like, in terms of teacher. And then grooming through social media, like...
So it's still hitting themes that you can't handle, but, like, don't want to handle.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, it makes me so uncomfy. And because I'm a Tinderella, y'all. Like, Ash and I met on Tinder. I don't need to think about how many serial killers I avoided in the process of meeting him. No thanks, I'm good. I'm happy to just live with it.
Well, when there was that message, like, Jamie kept messaging the girl, whatever her name was. What was her name?
Layla?
That sounds right.
I'm sorry.
Well, whoever she was.
The catfish.
Yeah. And then it kept messaging, and all of a sudden, I'll do anything. And then she was like, anything? I'm like, oh, no, that's a red flag.
Yeah.
That is a concern.
Huge red flag. Jamie, turn the other way, run away, quickly. That was so icky.
Layla. Yeah, it is Layla. Layla Mead.
Let's see. Personally thought it takes more to English to me, but I think it says a lot about publishers. I think American teams would read about a British. Yeah, they totally would. Because it's a really weird thing to rewrite the entire book. Yeah, I don't know why they did that. I don't know why they had two different settings for this. That does seem really strange. I thought that was...
The, whatever capstone project she was doing in the last one, that was a different name to what I was reading. Because they lined it with the British and American schooling things.
Yeah, that is strange.
So many details had to shift. But yes, so.
I always thought that was so weird. He was a grown adult and she was a teen. I was so suspicious of him. Who?
Charlie.
Oh, that's right.
Being like, yeah, you go, girl.
I wasn't suspicious about him at all until they started talking about timelines. And when they started talking about timelines as to when all this stuff started happening, I'm like, that's about when Charlie moved in, right? I started thinking about, like, oh, well, didn't Toad or whatever his name was move out around that time and Charlie and his wife moved in? But how would they be? I couldn't figure out why, but I kind of was like, that must be involved somehow. I didn't know how, but it was kind of what I was thinking. So in the first audiobook that I got, the narrator had a British accent. Huh. There's a lot of inconsistencies. Or maybe you got the one with the other cover. Your brain was like, what? Yeah, my brain totally was when he was being, like, I'm listening to Charlie say all this stuff. As he's saying it, I'm like, that's exactly, you did the same exact thing that Stanley's father did to him, to Stanley. Like, how do you not see that? You're verbalizing every single thing that you said was wrong about Stanley. Like, I don't understand. Like, about Stanley's situation.
Wait.
Yeah, it was a total red flag. Charlie. I'm delayed. Holly Jackson doesn't do that with her other books, does she? Have 2 different versions?
I don't think so.
That's a little confusing.
The Disappearance of Rachel Price.
Is that a Bejeweled Water thing?
Not
Okay.
really. It's just kind of shiny.
At first, it looked like it was like had this little bejeweled, things on it.
Bedazzled.
Reappearance.
Bedazzled.
I've only got one coming up in my American libraries. Ooh. Nope, that's German. I don't think so, for what I can see of
For her other books.
the reappearance. Yeah.
Yeah, that is a weird choice. So Charlie knew it was her when she was trying to catfish Layla because he could see through the windows, right? Like he could see that they were doing stuff.
I didn't even think about that.
They're like me. I kept wondering how he would know right away. And he has to concede. Like you could have to be able to, like he had to have been able to see through the windows or something. Or what? Because that was one little tidbit which probably is very irrelevant, but it kept coming back to me like, well, then how did you know that was her without even, without a second thought?
Maybe also because no, he wouldn't have known Connor's account just randomly. So I suppose it just
I asked the internet, and it says, yes, there are 2 versions of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder books, one published in the United Kingdom and one published in the United States. The United Kingdom one is published by Electric Monkey. The books are set in the fictional town of Little Kilton, Buckinghamshire. And then the United States one is published by Delacorte Press, and the books are set in Fairview, Connecticut.
Weird.
Yeah. I don't think that Sally did. Oh no, I started crying during
Absolutely not.
Jean. I started crying during that scene because Stanley was just trying to live his life, and he even had made up to Pip, tried to make up to her for making such a big mistake with first. It was such a horrible. That was such a horrible. I mean, like not horrible, but like it was such a sad scene because
the whole
he already had lived a sad life.
CPR thing. I was like, I was just devastated.
Yeah, I was crying.
She dragged him out of a burning building to save him.
Lived.
Like, what? I don't know if I feel like they're cheap shots now that I think about it. Because first it was the dog, and then it was the cinnamon roll newspaper dude that we've just found out his backstory. Like, I feel like she's using character death to be emotive without actually you don't need to have that. It's like she's doing it just to up the stakes to know that people die. But it's like the most unnecessary characters, but like it's still emotionally traumatizing because they're the sweet characters. So it's like, I don't know. That doesn't sit well with me. I don't like when authors do
kill the nice characters.
Like Lon?
That's exactly. Fine. I needed more death. You
wanted all the death in the other series.
I did. Because that was a high epic fantasy, not a YA murder mystery.
Remember the sweet, what was the sweet voice? What was his name?
Oh God, Amy, you're asking me from months ago.
I can't remember anything anymore.
What's his face? Oh, shit.
Ray Ren
Rue. Right?
No?
Rue. No, that's Hunger Games.
Ra!
What the fuck? Who did I hate with a fiery passion?
Danielle, you've got a very good point because I felt that way strongly about.
We're talking about Hilo's son?
Thank you. Hilo's.
I think it is Rue.
My little sweetheart. I loved him. The 2 characters that I loved the most in that series, she killed off because they were both sweethearts.
Oh, now we're
She
giving away
also
spoilers
killed
for a
off
different
Sweetheart.
series.
What?
Now we're giving away spoilers for a different series.
Oh,
Oopsie.
sorry.
Don't
Skip
listen to
forward.
us.
Spoilers. I'm so sorry. I made the assumption, and I shouldn't have, because we're with BookStara friends. And sorry, everybody. Don't listen. No, don't worry about it, Jean.
La 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 la.
Don't rewind. Don't worry about it. You don't want to know.
That's my fault.
The UK version is the original.
The OG.
Release died a little bit later in the hospital. I didn't want Stanley to die at all. I agree.
Me neither.
It's a cheap shot. Well, there's cheap shots in other series. Let's just say that, Paige.
Nah, that
you were totally okay with.
100%.
It was already invested. We didn't need the extra motivation to continue the case.
But I suppose if we see where we go with the third one for like if these have repercussions and all of that. She obviously has PTSD from the dog as well, and I don't know how she wouldn't have PTSD after Stan.
Oh, yeah. I mean, her at that party at the end and like sitting there, and she kind of had to like sit away from everybody, and like I just yeah. It's
I think for me, her parents at the beginning were like, when she finally told them, which she should have just done straight out of the gate, but this bitch nearly died. So why the fuck are her parents not getting her into therapy? And then on top of that, they're like, we're not going to let you get too invested into this. Like, you can't do that again. And then Pip starts going back that way, and they're not there. They don't notice or they don't care. And it's like, you've made this a thing that if you notice that she's getting too involved, you will step in. You haven't stepped in to send her to therapy, which she desperately needs. And now she is going down those rabbit holes. And you're not doing nothing. You're completely absentee parents. Like, the fuck? Take those strategies to make sure that you can monitor your child.
It's weird because I think I was on a different like Discord server, and somebody else had said that they felt like Pip's parents like treated her like a baby and like were like overly like coddling her. Like, so I don't know. It's weird to hear different people's like take on that, because I have heard like varying things now. I don't know. Like
initially when they were getting into it, they very much were. And when like at the end of the first book, beginning of this one, they were very much like, you can't go out, you can't do this, we're going to baby you, we're going to. But then they just let her run off.
Yeah, it's interesting. I know, because like when I was that age, once I got my driver's license, I had a lot of freedom, because I had earned my mom's trust. And I was the kind of kid who would be like, call my mom, hey mom, I'm going to be staying at my friend Alexa's house this evening. And she would be asleep already because she's not worried about me, and so but I was incredibly responsible, probably too responsible, didn't have nearly enough fun. But once, if I started showing signs like I was, or if my mom was aware of what was going on, she would have definitely like done something, because you just, despite how much trust you have in your child, because they're going to make good choices ultimately, there's things they can't handle. Their prefrontal cortex is not fully developed yet. Like,
she stopped drinking tea because she got date raped.
Right.
Oh yeah.
She's clearly traumatized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why the fuck didn't they do anything? Like, there's no way as a parent, I think she could have got away with what she did without them noticing. Like, if she was sneaking out, and that's fine. But like when she was sitting at breakfast, not eating her breakfast. And they were like, oh, is everything okay? She's like, yeah, I'm fine. Just tired. It's like, she has dark circles forming under her eyes that we've talked about and explicitly mentioned in these scenes.
Yeah, no, it's a little surprising, especially considering how close she says her whole family is and how... Yeah, I don't know. And her dad, he's seemed to be so supportive of her and always trying to, like, he does seem to coddle her in a lot of ways when it comes to how he expresses himself emotionally to her, but when it comes to her actual, like, upbringing, they seem to be fairly removed. Interesting. Let's get through some of these. You perhaps should have a spoiler banner. I don't know how to go back and do that in arrears. Yeah, as a group, we were talking about the Greenbone Saga. She's gonna be messed up. Yeah, actually, especially, well, you could tell she was already messed up at the end of this. She's totally messed up. Poor girl. Yeah, I've heard the third one is horrible too. I'm a little nervous about that. What does horrible mean?
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Well,
I've heard, like, I feel like I've heard positive things about it too, though. So it may just be unique to the individual. I don't know. Like,
well, I hate it. Like, I didn't hate the first one at all. I just, like, will it have tropes in it or resolutions in it that you're like, oh no, that shouldn't have. I don't like reading about that kind of thing.
Third time's the charm. Let's see what other thing we can do to traumatize me.
I feel like it's going to be, I don't really know, but I just have this feeling like it's going to be darker.
I've heard that it's darker too. And this was darker than the first one.
Yeah. I know. It's like she's upping the stakes, like, every time.
Which is interesting because these are YA. They still kind of read YA. I didn't feel like there was anything
they're
that was not
branching more
appropriate.
into new adult.
Yeah, but like if I saw a teenager reading this, I don't think I would be like, oh, you should read that. That is actually not YA. I don't think that. I don't know. Let's hope she gets counseling. I'm loud today. I'm sorry. I keep making these big outbursts.
I don't mind.
Or I'm expressive or something.
It's fine. I live with fits.
Let's hope she gets counseling and that be a thing in the book to show mental health support. That would be nice. That would be really nice to see in the next one. Yeah, but we'll see because it's at this point they're just kind of in denial about everything. Yeah, her parents seem to be MIA at least halfway through the book. The only thing that seems to check on her from time to time.
Oh my gosh. We have to talk about her freaking friends.
Oh. Yeah.
Dude, I would have, like, I'm not even a violent person and I wanted to punch him in the face. Like,
no. Well, and that reminds me also of friends. Like, yeah, makes me think of Max being friends with, what's the guy that dies in the first one?
Sal. Like,
how were they friends?
Sal just, like, liked everybody. He was just, like, one of those people that could just, like, get along with everybody.
I'm just saying, like, her friendships are kind of questionable because you have these people who are genuinely decent people or seem to have such different values than the people that they're friends with. I don't remember having any friends that were that different from me when I was younger. Or at least they didn't stay my friends for long.
And some of it can be more of, like, friends of friends because it wasn't like Naomi, like,
Max, the four of them hung out all the time.
Naomi and Andy, like,
they hung out all the time. They were always at each other's houses and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It just seems weird, like the friendship choices that these kids are making. So then you look at Aunt and Lauren was like a really good friend of hers last year.
Yeah.
Or last book. And now all of a sudden she's a total... Just because she's in a relationship with Aunt, all of a sudden the two of them are total jackasses.
But, like, I feel like that sometimes does happen.
That big, though? I don't know. Maybe. I'm not saying it's not possible. What are you
Welcome
saying,
to
Paige?
my high school friend experiences.
Yeah, I feel like that's
Sorry, y'all.
can happen. Yeah.
Okay.
That's shitty.
But it was like, oh yeah, I saw that coming a mile away. I was 100% waiting for it. Yeah. Like, the friends, they don't realize how much harm they're causing at the same time. Like, we're deep and personal about SAA if people need to tone their ears out for 2 secs. But that happened to me when I was younger, and I told one of my friends, and she goes, no, that's not possible. You like sex. She genuinely didn't believe me because I was a flirty person, but didn't usually go further. And so when it went further, I apparently had asked for it because I was a flirt.
Because you're a flirty person.
Yeah.
What a great friend.
Yeah. So it's like when I saw them starting to be like, oh, it's because of this, it's because of this, like you're just getting famous. I'm like, yeah, cool. Saw that. Yeah. Fully expected that. Especially when they started distancing themselves. Even in the first book, I was like, yes, this is not going to be fun.
Yeah, it was really bad though. I mean, they were among the they were among the people who were like, "Oh no, it's not true. You guys are just making a joke." Like that extreme?
Oh, you want to let me in? Like, I'll keep quiet if you give me money for it. You're just making it all up, aren't you?
It's horrible.
Yeah, I know the indignance of it, isn't it? I can hear a cat meowing in the background.
Yeah. I told you, outbursts. We have those. I'm gonna mute you.
No,
Brenda says, "No, I agree. As the mom of a teen girl, I think it's crazy that they didn't do more." Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to be in your kids, but like, on top of them, coddling them the entire time. But just checking in with them since they've been through a goddamn traumatic incident.
Well, especially knowing how hard being a teenager is. Like, what I never understand about adults, and I guess I don't understand this because I work with kids, and I'm like, how could you forget? Like, adults seem to forget what it was like to be a kid, to be a teenager, and I've never looked at kids and been like, huh, why are you behaving that way? Like, I still remember. I mean, I don't remember everything, but I know what it's like to be a kid. Like, I remember what it was like. You don't forget those things. I'm just always kind of surprised that people act shocked when kids do things. And I'm like, did you hide under a rock for the last? Did you decide to completely forget your life before the age of 25? I don't know.
Apparently.
It just surprises me, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it's also the idea that you want kids to feel that you would like them to be different, like feel differently about things. But that's unrealistic. Like that's not. I don't know. Horrible as in heartbreaking, or horrible as in just a bad book. Let's see. I think Jean said something. I haven't heard horrible as in bad book. Not horrible as in heartbreaking.
My brain completely
maybe I have heard horrible as in bad book. The only way the plot of these books works is if everyone turns a blind eye to Pip's behavior and poor decision. That's true.
Yeah, it's fair. It's just frustrating as an adult reading it. That is a big.
And Ravi, that's her boyfriend's name, right? Ravi, Just kidding, Ravi. Like he's so just like, all right, like that's. He's just so like, all right, Pip, you gotta do exactly this, and I'm not gonna say anything. I don't know. He's so encouraging of it also.
It is sort of the point of enabling.
Yes.
Rather than, he's like, I'll be there to support you to make sure nothing goes tits up. And it's like, but you're still also young.
Yeah.
You're still also a teen. No. But I do love their dynamic. It is a very cute relationship.
It is really cute. It's really cute.
Oh,
I do too. I like Ravi and her a lot. I think they're super sweet. But then I remember they're teenagers, and Ravi sees how hard she's been having everything, and Lauren should worry a little. Just a little. He
Is it-
believes in her so wholeheartedly that he's
Yeah.
willing to let her go to all these dangerous, I don't know. It seems enabling in some ways.
I found one of the comments I got after I had shared how much I enjoyed book 2. Do you guys know Stormy
Mhm.
at Storm Reads? Anyway, she said, curious to see your thoughts on book 3. As for me, I went from loving the first 2 to not liking book 3. It really depends on certain things if you like it or not. I think I will be so curious. I think so we'll be curious. Oh my gosh.
Now I'm nervous.
Oh my
Well,
god.
maybe it's not the
What
same
is the
kind
hand
of thing.
gestures?
If Stormy liked the first one, then it's not that again, at least, which is one of my bigger triggers.
True. I'm so scared. Are we just bracing ourselves for November to absolutely just tear this apart?
Mm-hmm. Speaking of
Okay.
which, yes, Jean, we're reading the 3rd book in November.
As Good as Dead.
Yes, As Good as Dead. Oh,
I'm gonna be dead by the end of it.
I'm dead.
I think that thing with her friends was totally glossed over. I think that happens a lot with teens and friends. I mean, I guess I was in denial. I certainly. Hey, Ma.
We love you. I feel that like a lot of the times it's not to the level that it was with this particular friend group. Like it happens, but it's a lot less intense because, you know, it's little petty teenage squabbles rather than like murder. You have no idea how much I'm crossing my toes, fingers, and everything like to make this happen. Oh, there we go. There you go.
I guess, I mean, like, I mean, I know I see that as being true, but it felt like usually there's a little more. I mean, I guess they did pull away. They kept pulling away, but it just felt like it was so 180. You know, I think if we had seen, because the friend group was more of the first book and it wasn't that much the second book, when all of a sudden Lauren and Aunt they had flipped 180, they were totally against her. It really felt out of the blue. And so I think if we had seen a little more lead up to it, it wouldn't have felt as shocking and as like, what the hell just happened? I think because
like for me, the lead up to it was the fact that like every time they mentioned those two, it was like they were always in their own little world. And like even at lunch when like everybody was talking and, you know, concerned about Jamie and concerned for Connor and everything, like they still were just like oblivious and like, I don't know.
They didn't even go to Connor when he was worried.
Yeah.
Like
I know,
they
that was
completely checked out of the friendship.
Yeah. And that definitely showed. I guess it's
But
just
you're right.
Like to me, in my mind, the worst people are the people who are saying that Pip's doing these, you know, like Pip's doing this all for attention. And I'm like, it just seems like a big jump for her friends to be leading that charge. But
yeah. And also, like, if they had have dropped comments throughout, like, instead of just being distance, but like they're distant, but they're also saying, oh, like, it's fine. Why are you stressing about it? Or, you know, why
I thought
why
they
are
were
you
saying
wasting
like,
so much
what
time on that?
can we do about it or something like that? Like,
yeah,
they were kind of just like passing the buck
once or twice. If it hadn't been like consistent, I feel like it wouldn't have been as big of a shock for you, Amy.
Yeah, I mean, it's so hurtful.
Sorry. Yeah, I was like,
Brianna's comment made me laugh.
Where? Down here? I'm sorry, because that's really crappy. Yeah, that's really crappy.
I got a few of those ones up my sleeve. It's not fun, but it's like they're people. They're also learning.
I certainly had friends that it was more middle school age, but I certainly had friends where I realized right away they weren't good people or they weren't people I wanted to associate in my life. And I was like, no, we're not going to be friends. And, they burned me in some way. And I was like, nope, I was very quick to be like, you're not the right person to have in my life. Like, and I know that that's not everybody, but that certainly was me. And I also had other friendships that lasted longer than they should have, but I eventually figured it out and tried to get myself out of that relationship because it was not a healthy relationship. But it was hard because I'm non-confrontational, and so it was tough. But I feel like it was never surprising, whereas this, I felt like Pip was shocked.
Yeah, she was.
And so for me, those friendships, I wasn't surprised. I was like, well, yeah, I've already pegged you as a bad person. Or just not a bad person, but like a person that would not fit with me. And so I liked the first book. I gave it 3.75, I think. I didn't dislike it. I just, the ending, that whole, well, everybody here technically has read it. So the whole teacher student thing is something I just, as a teacher, I can't stand that. It's got to be done really well for me to want to read a book that has that as the plot device.
Yeah. And when it's a plot twist, it's also just like, I was not.
Twist. Yeah, that I was like, and especially when he was, I didn't like him being a cinnamon roll character either. So that was even worse. It was just that was a hard thing for me to read. So I guess kind of triggering. So yeah, she's heard as horrible as in bad. So not that was just a badly written or badly done. I found I had a lot of friends that had a lot more money that were short-term friends because of the fact that eventually the differences came out more of not being able to relate. It was interesting when so I'm from Northern California, and when I lived in Southern California, and this is just my experience moving from Northern California to Southern California, and it's probably not universally true, but it was my experience, was that when I lived in Northern California, it's really, and this is one thing people who move to California really complain about, especially Northern California, it's really hard to make good friends. It's really hard to make friends in general, to find new friend groups. But if you were from that area and you had friends, you had very genuine friendships. They were deep, not easy to make new friends, but you had really, really good friends. When I moved to Southern California, it was so easy to make friends because people in Southern California, a lot of them, especially when they're trying to get into the industry, are there to make friends. So they're super, super friendly. But everything is super surface level. So any conversations or any attempt to get deeper into that person, to get closer to them, there's just nothing there because all they're interested in is knowing your name and you know them, and then you can hook them up if. And so that's an interesting thing, like the whole concept of money being like causing short-term friendships because there's not much to relate to. I had that experience going to Los Angeles, that it was more about the fame. You're trying to get yourself known, the networking, and people just weren't very genuine. Not everybody, but it was harder to make friends there that were more than surface level. And that can be an issue even in high school, I would think, too.
I've just always had to have extroverts adopt me.
And us extroverts love adopting.
That's how I find my friends.
We always are looking to adopt people.
our beloved introverts.
Come in.
But like, you're weird. I'm like, I know. Do you like it? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, cool. We can be friends.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. In fact, they didn't check on the girl. Her dad was the murderer last year at the party.
Kara.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that hurt. That hurt when Pip got so into it that she stopped doing the nighttime calls with her to help her fall asleep.
Watching TV with her and stuff, yeah.
When she realized that, I was like, broski, go on, be a better friend. And then she didn't change her behavior. She just acknowledged it and moved on with the day.
I was thinking, how in the first book, like, I loved the Pip and Robbie banter so much. Like, in this one, it wasn't, I didn't think it was as good.
You think it wasn't as good, or it wasn't doing it for you as the same way?
It wasn't as good, or it wasn't as prevalent. I don't know.
I don't think it was as prevalent.
Yeah.
Because they had, like, she would just snap at him, and then he'd be like, yeah, cool, that's okay. Come talk to me when you calm down. Like, it's fine to snap at me. You're going through a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well,
it was kind of sad.
Yeah. There were times when I was kind of like, wow, what's Ravi getting out of this relationship?
Right?
There were definitely times when I was, that sounds horrible. I just meant more in a way like she doesn't give as much care as he does, you know? Or she doesn't appear to give as much care as he does, as much support. Like, she needs a lot of support, and he's there to give her the support.
Right.
I don't feel like it's
not very, like, reciprocal.
Reciprocal, that's the word I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know.
I mean, she was going to let him go and, you know, get the bad guy because he needed that, or go rescue Jamie anyway. Yeah.
When they should have just called the cops. Like, this is not their job to...
Yeah.
Like, why wasn't the first thing in her mind was, okay, we have all the evidence we need. We know what we need to do. Let's call the cops. Let's have some backup. Let's have some people who actually have... Like, I know the cops have seemed unreliable in the past, but she had a relationship with that dude. And if she had said, like, hey, okay, I have actual evidence here, and he's like, hey, how long has it been? She'd be like, oh, it's been at least 72 hours. Then maybe he would have been like, oh, you know what? Maybe this is more important.
Oh, yeah, I can't think of that one
what was the main guy?
Detective's name. Yeah, I know who you're talking about, though.
Like, he was apologetic. He was apologetic at the beginning that he couldn't spend the time to do this because they were working on
the missing little girl.
Little kid, little girl case. But it's not like he couldn't be reasonable given what she has found, and given that time has gone by and this dude's never been found, right?
Mm-hmm.
Am I wrong about that? I don't know. I guess, I don't know. I just felt it was a little strange that she never reassessed that part of it. Less banter. Found that Ravi and her didn't have as much banter because she and Oliver didn't have a good interaction either. But she and Oliver didn't have a good interaction either. Who's Oliver? Oops, where did I go? But it might have been a shorter book. Well, for me, the length was fine. I really liked this book. I had so much fun with this one. I really loved how much, and this goes to kind of what Paige was saying, I felt like there was a lot more mixed media in this, and I really liked that a lot. I liked there being more mixed media. I thought there was more, like, variety to the mixed media, and I really enjoyed that in this book a lot. I had a lot of fun with that. And so now it makes me very interested to listen to the audiobook because I like that aspect of this. So,
as someone who had to put their audiobooks on 3 times speed to be able to get through the TBR for last month, it definitely reads super fast.
Especially at 3 times speed.
Yeah.
That's what
oh, that's right.
Connor. Yeah. Or that's what I've chosen to call his brother. Okay, so let me read this again. I found that Ravi and her didn't have as much banter, but she and Oliver didn't have a good interaction either. So her and Connor didn't have a good interaction.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which was funny because I felt, there were definitely times when I'm like, are her and Connor friends that have been friends since childhood? Because it doesn't seem like it sometimes.
And it was like, is this going to be like, when that first dynamic happened, I was like, oh, shit. We've got a missing brother, so they're emotionally volatile at the moment, because fair enough, I would be as well. Are we then going to throw, like, he's actually pining after her and can't? Please, let's not go down that road.
I was worried.
And I don't think they did. There was, like, maybe one interaction where he was like a little bit like hard eyes, but for the most part, he kept true to just being in his own grief and anger that, you know, the situation wasn't being resolved, which fair, but you've also asked a teenager to do this rather than the cops. So
right.
I loved how she gave Connor and the mom like the busy work of like trying to find the computer password.
But also inaccurate. That pissed me off so much. They would have been locked out of his computer. There is a limit. There is a password limit. You cannot try 600 passwords.
Yeah, what it was like, the explanation was because it was Windows or something that they were
I was
fine.
like, fuck, no. And I didn't ask Ash about it. I probably should have, but I was just like, fuck.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed their little busy work.
I was so mad at the father for so long, which was interesting because it made when he broke down that much more upsetting to me. I was like, I definitely cried at that part because it was just because you're so angry at the father, you're so mad at the father for so long, and then his breakdown is just so big. It's just so, you know, raw. I liked that part actually. I mean, not that I liked that he broke down, but you know, I liked that because he was just such an icky character. I was just so mad at him, so mad at him, and not saying that all of a sudden he's forgiven for everything, but like it was just nice to see a bit more humanity from him because he was so hard to like read about his behavior and how he was treating everybody.
Down that it's the dad. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I wonder if Holly Jackson has daddy issues.
I think she does. I think she has daddy issues. Because, I mean, if you think about it, in the first book, not only was the dad a problem, but the other dad, the girl's actual dad, was a problem. Even if he wasn't the problem, he was a problem. And in this one, a dad is the problem.
And actually, there were two problematic dads because of Stanley's dad.
Right, Stanley's dad is a serial killer.
So Holly Jackson has daddy issues. Good to know.
And there's got to be two dads in the next one. So is it going to be Pip's dad and Ravi's dad? Is it going to be...
Why can't they just be gay?
The dads?
Yeah, two gay dads.
It would be nice.
Why are they going to be...
It's got to be something else. It's going to be two bad dads. Two bad dads.
And one of them's going to be the villain.
Yeah, well, now I know. I already know. I actually can predict this. Somebody's dad is going to be the killer.
I reckon it's going to be Pip's dad.
What was that?
So I reckon it's going to be Pip's dad.
No, I like him,
dad. Though. Except his negligence. Aside from his negligence, I really like him.
But he does.
Why do I feel like a whole Halo situation again?
Mediate. Like, he's kind of like the buffer between her and her mom. And like,
I don't think it's going to be him.
I appreciate that.
It better not be him. Now you got my brain thinking like, oh, well, he is a stepdad. And
what if something happens to Josh?
Better not. He's such a sweet little kid.
I know.
They went for the dog.
Nobody is safe, okay?
I don't like this. And if everybody thinks it's a bad book, like,
we're fucked.
Are we going to even read it? Are you even reading this thing in November?
Should we just rip the Band-Aid off and just get it done this month? Honestly, I'm half tempted just to get it done and dusted with so that I don't have to suffer through the entirety of November waiting.
You're going to forget everything. Like, I'm already reading Fool's Fate this month, okay? So, like...
You're reading what?
You're going to be done.
Oh, yeah, you are.
Like, I don't know if I can handle more.
You like torture, Danielle. You like torture.
Oh.
Sarah, watch me love it.
Right.
Watch me love it. That's always the way it works
I hope
out.
we love it. I cannot imagine giving the first 2 books 5 stars and hating the third one. Like, that really upsets me. Even the thought. Paige.
What are
I'm
the
like,
ratings
and
for the
because I'm
third
a speed reader, I'm like, well, if I read it and then I know how you're both are going to feel about it, so I can sit here for 2 months just being like, hey, you're fucked.
You're gonna forget everything by the time we go. You're
I
gonna have to
forget
reread it.
anyway. I finished this on the 29th of November. It's September. What the fuck? It was months. And I can't remember jack shit anyway. It's
You know, the
fine.
average rating is only a little bit lower though. So like the average rating for the first book is 4.32. The average rating for the second book is 4.29. And the average rating for the third book is 4.21. So plenty of people still liked it.
That's right.
And I reckon that because this has been such a well-loved series on like BookTube, BookTok, Bookstagram, so many people have picked it up and read it through that there is a lot more voice to the last one than what there normally would be. Like hobby, people get through to the third farseer and they're like, right, I'm done. I can't do anymore. And then there's the rest of us that continue on with the realm of the elderlings. And we're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. But
nothing like it.
You don't have that same volume.
Yeah. Well, and I see some people that are friends or following on Goodreads saying my favorite of the series.
See?
I'm gonna look up. I'm gonna have a look.
But then I have other people who are like 3 stars, 3.5. This one really suffered from stupidity for me. I'm not going to read anymore because I don't want to be spoiled.
Oh my gosh, what did you say? Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. I have 76 people that I've friends or following
that have read it.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
That's a lot.
I jumped straight into this after reading the second one and I was so excited, but this book just wasn't as good as the first 2. But they still gave it 4 stars.
4 stars, 4 stars, 3 stars, 5 stars, 5 stars.
Mel gave it a 4.5. Ooh.
4, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5.
Ooh.
5, 3, 2. Man. Oh man. Oh, this person.
One of my friends that I align with gave it 3.
Heart emoji. Oh.
Oh.
I just saw somebody
gave it 1.
I saw somebody gave it a 1. I just saw it.
Oh no! A little shark lady in Suffer-a-thon.
This could go 1 star. This could go either way.
But Kara gave it 5 stars. Liv gave it 5. That's not surprising.
Oh my gosh.
Bianca did. Molly did. Barb. Sierra.
Like, what could cause this? That's what's going through my brain. What could cause this? Like, extreme.
Okay, so a lot of people I align with are 4 stars, and one of my we're nearly on par for ratings gave it 3.
Okay, which
so
is kind of how you've been feeling about the series so far, anyways.
I'm happy just for a 4-star series. Like, that's fine. That's a success.
I'm reading Fool's Fate by Robin Hobb. Jean.
You're going to be in so much pain.
All 725 pages of it.
Isn't there a novella? Yes, it's called Killjoy. I think it's a Christmas time thing.
Oh, really?
It got released for
I didn't know that.
National Book Day.
Ah.
And what is it? A collective total of 130 pages.
Mm-hmm. Maybe I'll put that on my... No, I already figured out my Christmas Advent Calendar Challenge stuff. I already figured it out.
Wait, what?
Serious?
Mm-hmm. Not all of it.
Damn.
I have to still figure out some of my activities, but...
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Aww.
So in the last week, I was test proctoring, which is just basically you're sitting there proctoring children. And on Monday, I had one girl who I was proctoring. So she just was sitting there doing her thing, and we were both reading. because in between she could take a break and read. And then out of solidarity, while she was actually taking the test, I was trying not to read because I know she wanted to read. So I was like, oh, I'll just start working on my Advent calendar challenge. And so I did. And I came up with, the song and all the stuff for it. So.
Oh, how exciting. Oh my gosh. I can't believe it's like almost that time again.
I know.
That must have hurt you when I sent the Bookish Peeps message like a couple of days after that, being like, it's that time of year again.
I was like, but it really isn't. But I guess it is. Because it comes by so quick. Let's see. I liked Killjoy better than book 2, but not as much as book 1. Interesting. Okay. I thought Neva didn't like the third. I don't remember what Neva said about the third. Actually, I don't think I saw what Neva said about the third. I have 3 friends on Goodreads rated at 3, 2, and 5. Oh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing.
I'm staying with my parents for a bit, and I really wish I brought my copy of the third book with me. I want to read it right now.
Yeah.
Also, Jean's watched the TV series. They implied that Pip's dad had tried to leave them at one point. She found his name in the hotel registry that the murdered girl would go to with the school teacher. So if that's from the first book, but not
that wasn't
happened in the first book. Well, they gotta make the first book. They gotta make the TV show more dramatic, right? They always do that. Yeah. That's creepy.
Rude.
That is rude. So I think of her dad as kind of a cinnamon roll character.
I do too.
Yeah. Not safe then.
See, you don't trust anybody.
Not safe. Not safe.
That's the point. I'm also supposed to make you guys feel moderately uncomfortable with the whole situation.
Ravi, not safe. Not safe.
I didn't think he was safe in the first one. You were like, oh, Ravi. And I was like, I don't know about Ravi. We're going to find out something we don't like.
No.
That would make the third book bad if Ravi's... Look at Danielle's face.
Ravi what?
I don't know.
I was saying like something could happen to him. That's what I was saying. Not like he's the bad guy.
Well, I thought he was I kind of was like, is he the bad guy in the first one? I was like,
I thought he was the bad guy in the first one.
Oh, but you liked him so much in the first one.
I liked their dynamic for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. He better be freaking safe.
I can't stop thinking about the fact that I screwed up StreamYard and it's on my not channel.
Aww.
We'll fix it.
It's going to be okay.
I thought I figured everything out and I didn't. It's annoying.
StreamYard's stupid. When it hits a particular point, it will have a connection.
And it did.
It did.
Because, I'm pretty sure I did everything right with my YouTube channel. It was just the connection between StreamYard and YouTube that wouldn't work. And that's why I couldn't get our sprints going that day, Danielle. I was having such a time. And then YouTube's like, okay, well, good. We'll get this connection going, but it's going to take 24 hours before we recognize it. So I couldn't set anything up on StreamYard. So then I made that connection, and it connected to the wrong whatever.
What was I doing?
And then you were doing the live show with Melanie.
That's right. Yeah. I was like, what? What was that?
And I think I was having a day anyway.
We're just going to do friends sometime in this month now.
October.
Yeah.
Make up for it. Just so we can spend time together.
We'll just kind of have sprints this month and next month then. Yeah. Right? Okay.
You don't have any other 24-hour readathons planned, do you?
No.
That you're trying to do in October?
That I fail for again. Spoiler!
You could have just been trying again because you found that it was so invigorating to do.
I stayed awake longer than I thought I was going to. I can't.
Not because of social things at all.
Well, part of it was your fault.
100% it was, and you know this about me.
Okay, spoiler, here we go.
Spoiler.
Spoiler for my 24-hour readathon.
You tried.
If you haven't watched that video yet, you didn't hear what I just said.
You did good.
It was invigorating?
Invigorating's maybe not the word I would use. I really did try to stay awake for not for a whole 24 hours, but as long as I possibly could.
Oh my gosh.
But I also had live sprints, reading sprints for Pongathon, and you know how I am with reading sprints. And I went and got my hair did.
What do you mean how you are with reading sprints?
How much reading do I actually get done on reading sprints?
Oh, yeah, true.
And especially with me, we don't shut the fuck up.
Oh yeah, that's true. We have to do like, you know, how some other sprinters do it. Where like they even set a timer for their little chatty bits.
I've done that.
You did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
And you just
Whoopsies.
Well, no, I mean we were on there for 4 hours and we did 2-hour-long sprints, but then I guess we chatted for 2 hours. We had to have, because we only got 2 sprints in that 4-hour period.
I thought we got one more shorter sprint, like we had a 45er.
Did we? Okay, I don't remember.
But that's still an hour and 15 minutes talking, and then
Paige and I chatted afterwards, when I should have been reading.
Did you tell me you were doing a 24-hour?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I thought so. I was just like,
I'm not blaming on you. It's not your fault. I am a person who has full capacity over myself, or full executive functioning.
Ownership.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it was just, and it was great. Like, it was so wonderful. I was just trying to, like, at the end of it, thinking, okay, next time I do this, what are my plans going to be to be successful?
Not have a live show go on at the same time.
Yeah. See, Tara says, I thought that video was a bit short for 20 minutes. That's because, believe it or not, Tara, I was reading most of it.
I was impressed, like, considering, like, that it wasn't a long vlog. You got so much reading in.
Yeah, then I got to that graphic novel, and I was just like, oh, no, it was so awful. Like, I just, you know, maybe it would have been fine if I had been reading it some other time. But when you're like this, and you got to pick up something, and it's like existential stuff, and I'm like, huh? What? It was very much like, I'm just gonna sleep instead. I give up.
You need to wait for the new Heartstopper to come out and then read that.
That's what I should do. Because see, I could get to that very easily, quickly.
Can you count that as
as long totally. I have to have one book
release.
When's it come out?
I don't know.
But
if you did that in the readathon, then
the
you're kicking off
challenge.
Heck yeah!
I did my first attempt at a 24-hour readathon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Heart. My keyboard is not. The first line of keys on my keyboard only works intermittently. Oh, so writing things is difficult. Jean loves my advent calendar, especially mom and cousin. Yes, and they will be involved this year.
Aww. Yay.
And it has flown by. I know, it's just disgusting. Let's see. Somebody else look up Heartstopper. Let's see what the next one. I can't get my E in there.
Is it volume 6?
Yeah.
We are looking at, I don't think it has a date.
Oh.
No, it doesn't have a date yet.
So then it's not going to be this year. It'll be next year. Yeah. For Herkyed, it has to be 3 books. One of them has to be over 300 pages. And she said you could do the other 2 as graphic novels. But for me, graphic novels aren't always the quickest. So I had chosen one of the Shauna McGuire, the audiobook as one of the Shauna McGuire books, which actually was a good thing. Except I didn't end up listening as much as I thought I was going to. And then, Tara says...
So you have to, like, do all that within 24 hours or something?
Mm-hmm. 24-hour readathon. And I went and got my hair done, and that was like 5 hours at the hairstylist because she had to book somebody between Mom and I, because I tried to get in last minute. And so we were basically there for super... But, you know me, I get distracted easily. So I'm at the hairstylist, I'm reading, but the lady sits down next to me and starts chatting with me. I'm going to chat with her. I'm not going to read the whole time she's chatting to me. And then the hairstylist is talking, and I overhear them talking. And then I get up to do my hair, and I think it would be rude if I'm sitting there reading my book while she's talking with me and doing my hair. So I listen to her talk to me about, while I'm doing my hair. So then she puts the thing on my head, and I can read then. But then she, takes the thing off my head, and I got to sit there and listen to her chat to me or chat with her. I'm not good at being like, I'm reading. I'm not going to talk to you. So I didn't get as much reading done during that time as it would have been nice. So there were at least 5 hours of time during that 24-hour period where it was good reading time, and I didn't read. So I would have gotten shipped done quicker. I would have gotten my audiobook done in that time. And so just little at the end, I was like, okay, interesting. These are little things that I took away from it and that I will try the next time. And I had an audiobook I had a graphic novel from the library. That was one of my surprise selections. And I was like, great, a graphic novel. But I waited to read it until I was tired. And it wasn't a graphic novel that I was any interested in at all. It's zero interest. It was the humor was very strange. It was very, like I said, it felt kind of like existential, philosophical conversations. And I'm like, I can't think of this right now.
You need a giant face.
Yeah, something super simple. Something, a lot more. So I just need to, it gave me ideas of, I picked a romance for my 300-page book. That was perfect. My audiobook choice would even been a good choice if I had more time to listen to it. And it was just that graphic novel. That darn graphic novel.
Gosh darn it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh! What about, have you read the Lightfall graphic novel series?
Yes. I've read the first 2.
Okay. There's a third one.
Yes, that's another option. So, it was a fun attempt, and I'm going to be attempting again.
You seem so enthused about that.
It's just finding that 24-hour period that, that makes sense. It's always hard. Well, maybe not. Google lied. We don't know yet because that's in November, and Danielle won't be able to get, work schedule until the end of, not sure yet. So towards the end of November, for sure. Maybe the first week or so of December if push comes to shove. But yeah, still a ways away. It's interesting having short books in our, it's really interesting having shorter books because we got so used to having the giant Jade City that's it didn't feel as far apart. But now that we're reading these short books that don't take very long, it feels a lot further apart with the reads. But I'm excited to see what we think about the final one.
Have we decided on series for next year?
I was just thinking that too. I'm like,
we've talked about it.
We have.
Okay, that's good.
We certainly have come up with ideas of things we're interested in.
Okay.
Or might be interested in. Yeah. We didn't solidify anything.
No.
But we need to start.
How exciting.
So many things.
I've really enjoyed the layout for this year as well.
Yeah, I did too. And I kind of liked that it was one heavier series than one lighter series.
Yeah.
Yes.
It felt kind of good. I'm not saying we'll do that again. I'm just saying if we did, I wouldn't mind so much.
Yeah. Getting those highbrow brain while we've still got some at the beginning of the year.
Count on you for book 3. Yeah, take notes. Let us know. Because we have already, I think, like, I read this at the beginning of the month. So, at the beginning of September. So I've read a lot of books since then.
I know. I was really glad that I did make the comments on Discord because I needed to look back and like refresh my brain. Like, wait, what did I think about that? Yeah.
Yeah, Discord's great for that. I do love that.
Yeah.
And it's been fun to see like some. Who is it that's still reading Jade City or one of the Jade Legacy or Jade War? Who is that?
Tara was working through it a while ago.
Yeah, and somebody else is currently working through it. So it's fun reading, going back and seeing what people are saying about that still.
I think
that's why I like that we don't close off the channels.
Mm-hmm. And then of course I can't say anything because I'm just like I mean, I can react to some things, but I'm also like, I know what happens next. I can't say anything.
That was too funny. I really enjoyed our discussions about the Greenbone Saga as well, because that was so funny. Just me. I like having a series I can stir the pot with.
I know you do.
Yeah. I feel like Tara was really the last one, like, commenting.
From what I can see on comments, yeah.
No. Not Jade, like, no. Let me.
What?
Lara. Lara is currently reading Jade War.
Oh.
Huh.
And we were just talking about that, Jean. So no, we're still in the works. It's in the works. We've already had some brainstorming sessions, but we haven't made any final decisions. And our announcement videos will probably come out in November. Do we usually send them out in November, or is it December? When do we usually do that?
Sometime.
We don't usually have a book in January.
No.
Maybe December's a good time to put out that. Oh, I say that as I do Advent Calendar Challenge. That's
maybe
it's not gonna be long.
10 months.
Yeah. So November.
Was what we did last year. Yeah.
Oh dang.
That's coming up so quickly. Everything is coming up so quickly.
But for the Bone Season announcement, you put it up on Christmas Day in 2022.
Did I really? Well, that's kind of fun.
That you might have put it on the 24th, but for me, it went up on the 24th.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's kind of fun, though. It's a Christmas surprise.
Ew.
Okay, well, we got that to look forward to. So we're going to be talking about that. We'll be figuring it out, and we'll let everybody know once we know. Well, once we announce.
I'm so excited.
Me too.
And we have
Okay,
picked
well, I think
really good series.
Huh?
We have picked really good series.
I think so, too. And this year we really tried to get something a little different, and I feel like we did a good job of that, too.
Yep.
I approve.
Okay, so I think that's pretty much it for Good Girl, Bad Blood, unless anybody has any final thoughts or final commentary on it.
If you want to put in the general spoilers for As Good as Dead, if you have any predictions or you want to do like a prediction bingo for those, feel free to pop them in there as well.
Fun. That would be fun.
If anyone wants to. So I might make up a prediction bingo. But obviously you then can't answer it until the last thing and go back over and check it. fun.
Yeah. That would be
Just a
fun,
little bit of fun.
I need to read the Bone Season and go back through the Discord. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Especially since Bone Season's coming, the next book's coming out when? In February or March, something like that?
Dark Mirror Bone Season release is lucky. Sorry, the Dark. No, it was the Dark Mirror. Look at me go actually getting it right.
Did you guys end up reading the Blackbird Oracle? Paige did, but Amy didn't.
I read more than half of it. I am going to actually probably restart it. I mean, and I was loving it, and I've been loving it. It started a little slower for me, but I really got into it. But I got so busy with all the other videos and the vlogs and the readathons I was doing that I had to put it down, and then I never got a chance to pick it up again. So it's one of those things where I really, really wanted to finish it, but now because I've had to wait so long in between, I kind of want to just restart it.
You want to restart it? Okay.
Yeah.
She gives it a thumbs up.
I know Paige loved it. Yeah. I vote for November. Yeah, I think we did that before. I can't believe the dead girl's mother and father got back together during this novel. Oh, I know. Yeah. Andy's parents got back together.
Yeah, there's definitely something like very toxic there. Like,
well, her father was a really toxic person.
Yeah. I don't know what hold he's got over her, unless it's just like money driven, but
yeah. Really didn't like the Paige and Bone Season. Yeah, a lot of people didn't like the Paige and Bone Season. I didn't mind the Paige and Bone Season, right? Or what did I feel? She grew on me.
Yeah.
I like this page so much. This one right here. I would be up for reading the fourth discovery. So we had planned on reading that and we have a
wait, the fourth one is Times Convert, right?
Oh, I think she means the
fifth. I think Blackbird Oracle is the fifth one.
Book. And we do have a
channel.
Somebody say it for me because I can't right now.
Channel.
Under side quests. Because we weren't gonna do a whole special thing for it, but we do have a channel. I do see that Paige chatted in the channel. I didn't chat in the channel because but you put spoiler stuff, so I could go back through and
I made sure
about it. Okay, that's good. Then I will go back through and look at that as I go through, and then actually add some of my thoughts during those, like as I go through chapter and chapter. I didn't do that because I was like, what if there are spoilers? And I don't want So I feel safe now.
I is polite.
Thank you. Yeah, the Blackbird Oracle. So that one we were supposed to read it together, the three of us and anybody who wanted to as a side quest in September. And Paige read all of it. I read like 2/3 of it, and Danielle didn't get a chance to. So the side quest though is still there, so you can absolutely put stuff in there. And I don't know if we didn't say that one was like, I don't know how to say. I don't know.
I don't even know what you're trying to say to help you out.
Spoiler bars.
Oh.
So even though it's one channel, you could talk about the different channels in there, chapters in there, but put spoiler bars as you want.
Yeah, just cover up your text.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm telling you, I'm a mess these days. Teaching, I'm getting back to teaching. Yeah. Okay. Anything else?
Not from me.
This has been so wonderful. Huh?
Oh yeah, I kind of want to make one. Yeah.
Oh. I can't wait to see yours. Oh.
Pip is going to do something stupid. Check.
Oi, now that's on mine.
Pip is going to do something stupid, and it'll cause her near death.
Right. We lose another Cinnamon Roll character. Check.
I just put bad dad. Bad dad.
Bad dad. Oh yeah, bad dad's good. Bad dad's good.
How's teaching going? I'm subbing because that's all there is available. But I'm changing my feelings about subbing. I am feeling a lot more positive about it, and it's going really well. It's actually going really well, and I'm well loved as a sub.
Oh,
so, I've got a good reputation for me going. It's just exhausting, you know. Any job is exhausting, but being a teacher is really exhausting. Yes, this was so much fun. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you everyone who came, even though it was kind of weird and messed up because it's not actually on my channel, but I'm glad you're able to find us with the links I put places nonetheless. An innocent person dies. Yeah, that's a good one to add. Yeah, that's a great idea, Paige. I'm going to make one now. Maybe not right at this moment, but. All right, well, this has been so much fun, and we will let you know in the Discord when we actually decide to have these sprints, because we are having an extra set of sprints in October, since we weren't able to have them in September, and that'll be on my channel. And then in November, we'll be reading As Good as Dead, the final book in the Good Girls Guide to Murder series by Holly Jackson, and that will be on whose channel?
Me.
Danielle's channel. And we'll be finishing out on Danielle's channel, and then the announcement for what's going to be happening in the year 2025 will probably be coming out in November. So thank you so much, everyone, for coming on and joining us on this live show somewhere, wherever it is. We will see you later. Oh, is there anything else, Paige? No, we'll see you all later. Thank you, Danielle. Thank you, Paige. Make sure you subbed to them. Their information, obviously, if you're part of our thing, you have. But everything, if you need to know, is in our description box down below. All right, bye.